Welcome to Daily Armor. Today we'll begin looking in the book of Romans, chapter number 12, and looking at verse number 12. Romans 12, verse number 12, and it says, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, and this is what I want to talk about today, continuing instant in prayer. So we're going to be talking about that instant prayer today. If you're like me, some days your day gets so busy that you can't even think straight. And I find on those days, I am the most drawn to talk with Him. And and I'm not talking about stopping, going to my prayer place, going, driving to the church and going to the altar. I don't have time for that. It's busy, it's in the moment. And I'm talking about just stopping and in that moment, instantly talking to Him, immediately talking to Him being the first place that we want to go to. And maybe that's not something that you have a habit of doing, but it's a good place to start. Just make yourself think that every time I have a question come up, I don't have to wait to talk to the Lord about it later. I can speak to Him right that minute. And it's in those silent prayers that we're speaking to Him and that we're asking Him maybe in the moment, maybe that somebody is speaking to you and you're just asking, Lord, they're fixing to ask me for advice, or they're asking me for, what should they do, or maybe they're sharing some kind of grief or sorrow, and we want to know how to respond. And so continuing instantly in prayer means that we are going to instantly say, Lord, I hear them speaking. I know that, I need to respond, and I need to respond correctly. And Lord, give me a verse, give me wisdom. And sometimes He'll just give you the wisdom to just listen and not feel like that you don't have to have all the answers, because God's the only one that's got all the answers. We don't have all the answers. It's okay to say, I don't have the correct words, but I join you in prayer and I'm praying for you, and you want to do it instantly and immediately. You want that to be the first source that you go to, not for you to take it upon yourselves to do anything about it, but that you take it directly to the Lord. I was reading, just trying to study through this verse, and was reading, and I'm not sure where the commentary was, but it gave an example. What I remember about the example was that it was like a ship's compass, and you're out there in the water, and that ship's compass is constantly in different directions, guiding that boat to different directions. But when it's going where it wants to be, it's due north. That's where it's set to. Everything, no matter if you're going south and it gets that little bit of inkling that you've turned in one direction or the other, its focus is to go back north. And that should be our focus, to look up to Him, to run to Him, to speak to Him. And we don't have to wait. We don't have to make an appointment. We don't have to wait till our set time. We don't have to wait till things get completely quiet. In the middle of the chaos is absolutely some of the most important times of prayer. It's not about the quantity of time, but it's about that quality of time with Him. So sometimes when you are you're in the moment, needing to make a decision, needing to make a choice, and it just happened all of a sudden, and you're feeling all this pressure, and instantly you want to take that to the Lord. You want to say, without even having to speak out loud, you can think your prayer. You can have that silent time with Him. Lord, I'm hearing what's coming out of their mouth, but Lord, I'm going to you. And Lord, help me to respond. Help me to know what to do. Help me to see, Lord, is this something that you're opening a door, or is this something I need to wait because this may not be something that you want for me? So we have all kinds of different situations, and some days, and I think that this is going to be a good verse for us today is my day today already is going to be just full of event after event after event after event. And some things I'm not going to know what to do until it's time. And throughout my day, I'm going to find myself, Lord, what do I do here? Lord, where do I go here? Even when I'm driving, sometimes when I'm driving, and I need to do it every time I'm driving. Sometimes you can take the same way somewhere. Maybe you have the same way that you go to work, or the same way that you drop off kids at school, or the same way that you, go to church, or the same way that you go to the grocery store. But when I get in my car, what I like to do is like, Lord, I know there's a lot of traffic out there. I know there's a lot of issues out there. You see, blue lights all the time. Things that, ambulances going up and down the road. It's just so busy in our area. We just live around so much busyness. And so I find that I'm constantly in my car saying, Lord, which way do I go today? It was yesterday, the day before, that I had went to town. It was yesterday. I went to town, and I was speaking to Todd later in the day, and I was mentioning seeing something on the road, and he's like, well, what did you go that way for? And I said, you know what? I said, I was driving, and I just felt like that the traffic was real heavy, and I felt like the Lord just turned me, and I just went in, not in the normal direction that I would have went to get to the place that I was going to that day, or yesterday, but that I just felt like I was supposed to go that way. Now, I have no idea what, would have took place if I had just went on my normal route, but I know that when I ask God, Lord, which way should I go? And when he tells you go left, go left. And you don't have to know why. When you're asking him, you're in that moment. I come up to an intersection and I could go straight or I could go left. Lord, which way do I go? And it was just left, left, left. Now, when I got through the intersection and I got to where I was going, I could see up there in front of me blue lights at the intersection. Now, I have no idea if anything would have happened at all. All I know is when I got to the intersection where I was asking the Lord in that moment, I was asking him, Lord, which way do I go? Do I go straight or do I go left? And all I was being led to do was to go left. And so I did it. And not knowing, not knowing what would have taken place, if anything would have taken place, but that God was simply, maybe even seeing if I would be obedient to him, because my normal direction would have been to go straight at this certain intersection for where I was going. So we want to be instant. We want to be consistent, to be instant all throughout the day. Talking to him, and when you get a phone call, when you are busy in your task, and when you're getting frustrated, and you say, Lord, I'm getting frustrated, help me, calm me down, give me a song to sing that will just make me think of you while I'm doing this task, that will make me just have that peace and joy and contentment while I'm in the middle of all this. Or maybe you're stumped on something and you just say, Lord, I'm not getting it. Lord, please help me. And you just take that few seconds. Sometimes sometimes it's in seconds. Sometimes you just need just a moment to just simply say, Lord, I'm stuck. I don't know which way to go. I don't know how to do this. And I'm not getting it. I'm not very quick. Lord, please help me. And then you take that breath, and you go back to it, and maybe you still are stuck, maybe you still have a hard time, but he's helping you. And maybe you through doing that consistently, you have a breakthrough, and you're like, oh, I get it. Oh, I see it. And then you say in that moment, in that silence, just you and him, thank you, Lord. That was precious. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for helping my brain to get it. Sometimes my brain just ain't getting it. Sometimes I know I'm like really close to getting it and I just ain't getting it. And then all of a sudden the light bulb will shine and I'll be like, oh, thank you, Lord. That was so precious. That was so exciting. And maybe that nobody knows all the excitement that goes on in your brain, all the excitement that goes on in your thoughts, but God does. God does. You are having a relationship with him. So maybe it's not in this big long quantity, but it's so much quality in those few seconds here, maybe a minute over here, maybe a few seconds over there, and that you're longing, your desire is no matter which way that you're like a compass and you're being tossed this way and that way and all this way and back this way, you're constantly desiring to be back set to north where you're looking up, you're looking at him, you just can't wait to get to your quantity of time that you get to spend with him, when you can go over so many of those thoughts, when you can jot down, Lord, this is, you help me with this today, and Lord, I had this question, and now I'm going to get to write it down, and I'm going to get to talk to you about it some more, and we're going to spend some more quantity of time together. But I just enjoyed all of the quality time that we had together throughout the day. You can be in the midst of an enemy, of a bad situation, if somebody's being mean to you, somebody's being unkind. Maybe you just don't understand why are you being treated this way? Why is somebody not being kind to you? And you're just saying, Lord, help me be kind back. If you read this whole chapter of Romans chapter 12, for any of you out there that are just have a little bit more time today, read the whole chapter. There is so many good little nuggets. It's like every little sentence, every little phrase. I mean, even in the verse 12, and I focused only on the last part, but in the beginning of verse 12, it says, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation. Those are two separate statements about two separate different situations. And then the last statement is continuing instant in prayer. This is no matter what all of these things are going on throughout your day, you're continuing instant in prayer. Immediately talk to him. When somebody is being unkind to you, and just say, Lord, help me to respond kind back. Help me to pray for them. Help me to respond kind back. Look at all these things that chapter 12 it's got so many ways that the Lord wants us to act and to be, and to how to respond and what to do in some of these situations. You find that in just this chapter number 12, there's so many golden nuggets here. I mean, we could do a whole study just on Romans 12, just on every little bitty phrase. Rejoicing in hope. Rejoicing in hope. That is having joy in the hope that is yet to come to pass, that it's going to be there. It is a done deal. I know I'm going to heaven. I know that no matter how bad it gets here, no matter how bad the suffering is here, my hope is in him. My hope is in Jesus. All my hope is in him. And we can rejoice in that in the midst of a difficult moment, a difficult day, a difficult year. Sometimes you have a difficult year. Sometimes it's a rough year. And it's just, you can rejoice in the hope that it ain't always going to be this way, that maybe this is in the moment, maybe this is, where it's tough, but Lord's going to help you get through it every moment, every step of the way. And we can rejoice in that. And it also says patient in tribulation. So that's being patient in the midst of it. Don't do anything that wouldn't be pleasing to the Lord. Don't take matters into your own hands. Don't put too much thought in what's going on, but put all your thought into him. That's why continuing instant in prayer. We go to him. We go straight to him. We run straight to him, and we don't have to run anywhere. We don't have to go anywhere. We can talk to him right in those moments of those things that are happening. And don't forget that not just bad things do we take to the Lord. You can instantly, when something wonderful happens, when somebody is kind to you, when somebody is, has brought you good news, and you can say, oh Lord, thank you for that. Lord, that is so good. Lord, you're so good. You can instantly say that. If somebody is speaking to you, or you're in the middle of something and you can't say it out loud, you can say it internally. Lord, that was so good. Those silent prayers of praise and silent prayers of thanksgiving are just as remarkable as when we have more of that quantity of time. So don't forget in that quality, also that quality of thanksgiving, or even in that moment where, Lord, I shouldn't have said that. Lord, forgive me. In that moment, do it instantly in that moment. Instantly in that moment. Keep things, that conversation going with the Lord throughout your day. And I'm telling you, the busier your day is, the more that your thoughts should be on Him, and that your prayers, your silent prayers, should be directed to Him. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.